Hi, I'm KK and today we're gonna talk about My School President. But before we go into an actual video, I want to give you a little disclaimer. This video is gonna have spoilers because I just want to share my thoughts and opinions about this drama. Now when you already know this, then you can come to an actual video. This drama has one season with 12 episodes, and this is a story about two students, Gun, who is the leader of a band called Chinzilla, and also about Tinn, who is a school body president. And Tinn has a crush on Gun, and during this whole story we will see how Tinn is trying to get close to Gun and how he tried to make him fall in love with him, and also we will following other members' stories. And this is one of the best teenage shows that I have ever seen, and actually I think one of the biggest advantage of this drama was that actual teenagers play teenagers, except Mark of course, and I think it was a really good decision from director and producer because I have no idea who was responsible for this, but it was a great decision to cast them. And yeah, that was very light and cute show and I enjoy it so much, and I recommend it to everyone. Even if you think that you're too old to watching this, trust me that probably you will like the story. And yeah, it was very light, it was funny. Tinn and Gun story was very cute and their romance was very healthy, which is not very often, especially in teenage shows, unfortunately. But yeah, seriously, it had so many advantages, and also there were so many good songs. I was really surprised actually that this drama was so good because I didn't expect it at all. I remember that I didn't start this drama right after it was aired because I wasn't sure if this show is for me, especially when I watched special episode, and they were saying that this drama is a little bit cartoonish and it had cartoonish humor, and I'm not a big fan of this, so I thought that I'm not gonna like it. And actually after first 2 episodes maybe I also thought like this, but I keep watching and now I just love this drama, and yeah, I recommend it to everyone to watch, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna spend a nice time with Tinn and Gun and other members of Chinzilla. Okay, now I think we can come to spoiler part, and I think we should start from our main characters because how we could start from someone else, right? And maybe let's start from Gun. He was very mature, calm and nice person, and he was very inspirational, and I think that if you're watching this as a teenager, and especially if you're an artist, then I think you can see yourself in Gun a lot, and you can understand his struggle and everything what he's going through. And yeah, when he was talking about music and singing and how this is important for him, it was so inspirational, and I just love listening people who talking about their passion, and you know, they have this very nice vibe when they're talking about this, and you can really hear how much they love it. And I know from experience that having passion in that young age is really good, and actually it can help you a lot because I know that teenage life is very hard, you struggle a lot with many stuff, you're just making your first step to adult life, and you know, this is a perfect time to keep trying new stuff. And yeah, I know that it's really hard to somehow do this when you have a lot of homework and you need to learn a lot, but still I think it's really good to find some passion. And I don't know how it's with others, but I can tell from my experience that when you have something artistic, then when something is really hard for you in daily life, you can always just close yourself in this small your world with your art, and you know, just cut everything off and focus, and maybe even look at stuff from different perspectives. And the most important thing, that you can get calmer and you know, just in general get better. Even if this is for a short period of time, then still it can be really helpful, especially for your mental health. And I know that not everyone have a passion in that young age, and that's completely fine, but I recommend to find some. And I know that it can be really hard until you find something which is good for you, but yeah, this is really good, and trust me that it can really help. And I really like that they show that even if you fail in some competition, it doesn't mean that you're a walking disaster or something. And you know, when Gun was taking a part in this competition and he failed, it was really hard for me to watch him, like he was crying and how frustrated he was. And especially the scene when he gave up on his dream and he said that he will go to university and you know, find a proper job and that kind of stuff. It was really heartbreaking for me to see, because this happening definitely too much when you're a teenager, and many people give up on their dream when they're young because they think that this is pointless because they keep failing. And you know, actually failures are not always the worst stuff because you can always learn something from this. And I know that it can be really frustrating when you keep losing in everything, and no matter how much you try, no matter how much you put yourself in this, still you don't see result, and all of this can look pointless, but please never give up on your passion, okay? Just keep trying. You never know what future hold for you. And in general, okay, I know that many people think that if you're going to university, you will have a stable job, blah, blah, blah. But actually, those jobs that we really often see as a stable, not necessarily need to be like this. And also, this is not so sure that when we graduate, we will work in this field. Because yes, graduating university can make your life maybe easier, and maybe you will easier find a job, but this is not so sure, especially if you don't like it. And if this kind of life is not for you, you don't feel it, then trust me that you will be just destroyed, and it will destroy your mental health, and you will not feel good in this if this is not something for you. And I'm not saying that you should only focus on your passion, and when you're adult you need to get money somehow, so you need to work. But even if you're working, then you can always just take this few minutes at least for your passion during the day, and trust me that it can make your life a lot of easier. And if I might, then I want to tell you something. If you're a teenager or someone who wants to give up on their passion, please don't do this, because even if I know that the easiest option can look like the easiest option, it's not always like this. And the most stereotypical ordinary life is not for everyone. If someone feel it, great, but not everyone need to be like this and live like this, okay? Just try to find and choose your own way, okay? And okay, now let's talk about Tinn. He was such a caring person and such a good character, and probably he was the greenest flag that I have ever seen in any production. And if you know any other character who is even more green flag, then please let me know in the comment section. I just need to watch this production with this character. And he was that kind of green flag that it doesn't look fake, but it was the most ordinary way, and that make it even better. And I just love his whole plan, and it was hilarious, but it was so funny how he was to keep trying to get close to Gun, and I just love his imagination. All the scenes were hilarious, but it was so funny, and I was laughing because of them so much. And especially this one iconic when he was talking with his mom because he wanted to stay over in Tucson place and help him study for a week. It was amazing. And yeah, I just love Tinn and Gun story, and their romance was probably the best that you can get as a teenager. And I really love, and I repeated that they were super healthy couple, and I really hope so we'll see more that kind of couples in the future, because this is just nice to see, and I'm really sick of toxic ones. And yeah, they didn't create some stupid and fake problems. They were always there for each other. They were supportive, and even if they were really different, they didn't fight over those differences, but they completing each other actually. And yeah, I'm sorry, but I just can't stop praising them. They were just too good. And this drama is actually iconic. Many people love it. It's super popular, and I really love that this drama showed that you can make very healthy drama with super healthy characters, and still it can be very entertaining, and people will love it, and it will be popular, because as we can see, many people love the drama, so people want to see that kind of stuff. And I really hope so we'll see more that kind of dramas in the future. And like I said, this drama was very good picture of teenagers, and of course it wasn't only fluffy, cute and funny, but also there were some serious stuff here. And one of those was when Tinn and Gun photo was shared between people and they were keep gossiping about them. I was really annoyed during this because I really don't like that kind of people, and seriously, people who love gossiping, they should find some passion for themselves, because I'm pretty sure that if they will have some hobby or passion, they won't have time to gossip about others, and they will be just less annoying human beings. And also something which I really don't like, when people start to create a hashtag and name for some couple and they behave like they're fans or something like this. This is something which I really don't like, and please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that couples who are making a content from their relationship are bad, and I don't like it. I also watching that kind of couples. This is fine, because those couples want to do this and they want to become public, they want to create a content from their relationship. And that kind of stuff, when people agree on this, it's completely fine, and if people they're fun, that's great, I'm happy for them. But Tinn and Gun's situation was different, because they didn't want to be public, they didn't want to make a content from their relationship. And because of this, I was pretty annoyed by those people. And another thing which I really like between Gun and Tinn was the scene when they were talking about future choosing university, and how this is often that actually parents choosing this path for their kids when their kids should decide about it because this is their future and their path. But yeah, you know, it should be normal, but it's not, unfortunately. And we know how common it is that actually parents planning this and they choosing this for their kids. And I like that we saw two different perspectives here, because Gun was saying how ridiculous it is, and from the other side we had Tinn, who showed this from his perspective that actually those parents really often think that they're doing something good, and they're doing this for their kids' good. And yeah, really often parents believe in this, but no matter what is the reason, still it's not good. And this teenager should be the one who will decide about it, because this is their life, and this is as simple as that. And also I really like that they showed how different members of Chinzilla, they were also struggling with this, with their future, with their plans, what they're gonna do, and how often they need to fight with their parents over this. And this is pretty sad, but yeah, like I said, this is another huge advantage of this drama, and this is why I think this drama is just perfect for teenagers, because based on those characters, they would see that this is not only them, they're not weird or anything like many teenagers think, and they will see that actually most of people are going through this and this is completely normal. Okay, now let's talk about Chinzilla members. First of all, I just love this band, and I really like that they show that when you're working in a team, there always will be conflicts. That's normal, because always when more than one person working on something, you will fight about something. But I really like that they show that no matter what, they always talk and they find a way how to solve this. This is really good, and this is another good lesson. And also that they show that when you're a band, there's no individuals. Everyone who's in the band is equal and they should shine equally. And that was another good stuff. And this is also another example that gmmtv really know how to create a good group of friends who actually look like this. And probably like everyone, I was really sad when they lost in Hot Wave, but from the other side, I like it because it wasn't that obvious, and also it showed that you doesn't need to win and everything, and even if you lost, there's nothing wrong with this, and yes, you will be sad, but you can always get some lesson from this. And another huge advantage of this drama was that they showed teenage life, how it actually looked like, and those characters behave like real teenagers, and you know, they showed teenage problems without making them ridiculous or not important. They show them with full respect and how they actually look like. And for example, how Chinzilla members were discouraged after they saw this concealer, or when they fight in this temple because they were just too frustrated, and you know, in general, that they were keep hearing from every single side, probably from their parents, friends and others, that they need to know what they want to do, they need to have a plan for their future, they need to go to study, they need to find a job later, and that kind of stuff. You actually don't, and it's completely fine. Maybe this is time for you when you need a year or two, some break, or you know, it doesn't need to go to university if you don't want it. If you want it, great, but if you don't want it, maybe this is just not your path, and that's it. I think that the best way is to not take everything to yourself and just try to focus, and yeah, keep getting know new stuff, keep trying new stuff. And you know, when you're a teenager, you're very young and you have a whole life to discover what you want, who you want to be, where you want to live, and what you want to do, and that kind of stuff. And if you don't know, it's completely fine. If you know, it's great, congratulations, but not everyone needs to know. And you definitely doesn't need to have a whole plan for your life when you're a teenager. Please just try not to put pressure on yourself and everyone around doing this, okay? And the scene when they were walking to this temple was really heartbreaking for me, and it was really hard for me to watch, but I like that they let their frustration out and that they stopped blaming themselves and also one another, and they didn't do anything wrong. They weren't a bad musician. And you know, sometimes when you're a performer, you make some mistake, or even if you work really hard, then people don't like what you have done, and this is normal. But as long as you did your best, and I'm sure that they did your best, then I think you're good enough. And I know that after that kind of failure, some people can have a problem to come back to do what they love, and this is really sad. And also, it was really hard for me to see how frustrated Gun was as a leader, because I just can't imagine how huge pressure he need to feel, especially after they lost. And also seeing him being traumatized after Hot Wave was really heartbreaking for me, but I'm really happy that later he started singing again and he was happy again. And I really like friendships in Chinzilla, but I think the most I like Gun and Tinn. And when it comes to Sant, it's still super funny for me that actually he joined to Chinzilla because he thought that he's doing this against Tinn's will. And also, I know that he was pretty mean and rude in the beginning, but I think that he was like this because he had very low self-esteem, and I feel like he wants to prove himself all the time. But when he found out that he actually is the part of Chinzilla and they actually want him to be the part of this and he belongs there, he became a cinnamon roll, and he was so cute character later. And Sun and Wind were really something, and I was really afraid that they will hurt each other badly in some point because they were keep fighting, and I still have no idea how they become such a cute couple. And yeah, in general, when they become a couple, they get much calmer, but it was so funny for me that they were acting like some love experts and, you know, like expert from relationship when they were actually keep fighting with each other. Yeah, the real experts. And I just couldn't with Yo and his fainting. It was so hilarious, but he was such a cute character. But I still have some problem, and I have very mixed feelings when it comes to what he had done to this girl, because okay, I understand that he had a very low self-esteem and I feel sorry for him because he was such a good guy, but yeah, lying a person who you like is not the best idea. And in general, you know, catfishing is controversial for a reason. And no matter what, still, it's a lie, and a very terrible one actually. And I feel really sorry for Yo during the scene when they were fighting before they came to this temple, because he was standing there and he was crying, and it was really heartbreaking for me to see him like this, because, you know, he loves his friends so much, and he didn't probably expect that they will fight so much with each other and they will be so terrible for one another. But yeah, in general, this scene was really heartbreaking, but seeing Yo like this was even worse. And I know that you probably think that Gun was my favorite character in this drama because I was keep telling a lot about him, and yes, I really like Gun, but actually since the beginning I focused so much on Plashara, and until the end probably he was my favorite character. And he was such a funny kid and smart guy, and yeah, I like this character, and I still have no idea how he couldn't find a lover. And I felt so sorry for him when he was crying at this one scene that he left totally alone, and I really crossed my fingers for him so much that maybe he will find someone in the university, and you know, in this My School President universe. I really wish him this. And how could I not talk about our fashion king Paul? And yeah, he was such a cutie pie, and he was a really good friend, and it was a little bit hilarious, but actually it fit perfectly to his character, that even when he broke his leg, then still he wanted to take care about his friends, and he wanted to keep everything in this group how it was. And I remember that people were talking so much about Tia and Paul as a couple that I was waiting for them, but we got so little. And I said that Mac and Ford are pretty popular as a ship, and I think they have good chemistry, and I hope so that we will see them again in the future, who knows. And also, when it comes to Tio's character, I really like him. He was hilarious, he was super funny, but he was also a great friend, and I'm not sure if actually Tinn would get all of this if he wouldn't have Tio. And okay, now let's talk about the last teenager, Kazan. And when it comes to him, I know that for many people he can be annoying, but I had pretty natural feelings when it comes to him, because it's not like I don't like him, but also it's not like I like him so much. I was okay with him and that's it. But I feel pretty sorry for him at the end when, you know, he created some kind of picture of Tinn in his head, and later when he found out that Tinn is just another teenager and he's not so special or anything, you know, he's just ordinary guy. Kajun got pretty disappointed, and because of this I feel sorry for him, but you know, at the end of the day he just needs to deal with it. And he was that kind of person who always speak first and then think, and this is not necessarily bad personal trait, but it can make you a lot of problems. So yeah, it can be good, but also not the best traits. But you know, he was just a teenager like all of them, and he just needs to learn more about people and in general how world looks like. But yeah, like I said already, I was pretty natural about him, but I think that he also was a very important part of this drama. Okay, now let's talk about the parents in this drama, and maybe let's start from Tinn's family because I have more to say about them. And first of all, they were super hilarious, and especially Tinn's dad and his problem with those instruments. And when it comes to Tinn's mom, I have very mixed feelings for the whole this drama, because as a mom, I was curious if she's really so controlling and she's not the best parent, or she's just really afraid about him that someone can hurt him and that's why she's overprotective. And you know, being a terrible parent, usually that kind of people doesn't want to change, but when you're overprotective, you can work on this. And fortunately, it turns out that she was just overprotective. But I was happy that later she slowly changed and she found out already that Tinn is not a kid anymore. He's a teenager, and he soon will start his adult life, and she needs to let him do things on his own, decide on his own, and that kind of stuff. And of course, I'm not saying that you as a parent should give a full free will to your teenager. No, but just make them do their stuff, make their decisions, and even make mistakes. It's the process of learning. And just show them that you trust them, and show them that you're always there for them if they need, but just let them start to create their own life. And also, when it comes to her as a principal, I also have pretty mixed feelings, because she was very discouraging when it comes to Chinzilla, and I didn't like the way how she behaved, because teachers are supposed to support teenagers and show them that what they're doing is good, not discourage them. But I really like that later, when it was this situation with this terrible teacher, that she stood up for Gun and Tinn, and she was really good principal, and she behave like someone in a good place. And actually, I think that people like this guy should lose their ability to teach, because they will put their mindset further, and it will just create a huge damage, and it's not gonna do anything good, especially that this mindset is so stupid and it doesn't make any logic at all. And also, when it was this prom and she was standing there smiling, clapping, and just be happy for them, and she almost became a fan of Chinzilla, it was so cute. And yeah, like I said, I have pretty mixed feelings about her, but at the end, I really like her. And okay, now let's talk about Gun's mom, and she was just a perfect parent, and she was that kind of parent that everyone deserves. And she treated Gun like her friend, and they were very close, but on the same time she set boundaries when it was needed, and she showed what is Gun's responsibilities and which one is her as a parent. And she tried to teach him independent, and she didn't want to decide for him. She wanted to do him everything what he could. And yeah, it was really nice to watch them, and their relation was seriously amazing. And it was so funny for me when she was scolding him in this hospital, because she wanted to make him come to Hot Wave. And also, I understand Gun that he didn't want to leave her, because he probably was traumatized after what happened with his dad. But like she said, she was with doctors, so if anyone can help her, then doctors. Gun sitting there was actually pretty unnecessary. And in general, this whole part with her illness, I don't know whose idea it was, but when we were so anxious about her, and later when finally she became better, then Chinzilla lost in Hot Wave. Seriously, gmmtv, you were happy seeing us so miserable during that time? And now I want to talk about the contrast between Tinn's and Gun's mom when they were talking with them about them being gay. And when it comes to Tinn's mom, I'm not surprised that Tinn didn't want to talk with her, and he didn't trust her, because she was so overprotective and she crowded him all the time, and he always needed to do what she wanted. But I'm not sure if this is what actually she wanted. But he was growing up thinking like this, so I'm not surprised that he didn't trust her, that he can talk with her about anything. So I wasn't surprised that he was afraid, but it really broke my heart that even Gun was afraid of his mom's reaction. And this is not her fault at all, because I'm sure that he knew that he can talk with her about anything, but this is the stupid society problem that for so many years, so many people, mostly elderly people, but also media, and like the majority thought that being gay is something bad for some reason, but at the end of the day, it's not that important actually. But this is a huge society problem, and fortunately it slowly changed, but I think still we need many years until it will be treated as a total normal, how it's supposed to be. And something which is really heartbreaking for me, that even nowadays I hear many stories that even nowadays teenagers are afraid to say that they're gay or they're anyone from LGBTQ plus community, when it should be normal finally. But yeah, unfortunately we still need many years to make it normal probably. Okay, now I think we can come to conclusion. I think that this drama had everything which a good production need. Talented cast, serious problems, a very good plot, great soundtrack and very nice camera work. And I think this drama is seriously for everyone, and I think that everyone in every age will find something for themselves, but especially teenagers. And I repeat it, but still I think this is one of the best productions about teenagers that I have ever seen. And I think we need more that kind of ones, when we will show good friendship, love and teenage life, and the healthy one and how it's supposed to look like, not all those toxic ones that we usually see when it comes to that kind of productions. And in general, I'm saying this as not a big fan of school dramas and school productions in general, but I love this one. And I think that we have so many characters here that for people who like to identify with characters, then I think that everyone will find someone for themselves, because seriously, there were so many characters here that it's really impossible probably to not find someone for you. And also I was really surprised how good actors were here, because it was one of their first projects, but they were already really good. And still I'm really shocked how good they show teenagers and their problems and their daily life, because this is a very common problem in that kind of productions, that adults creating this look at teenagers from their perspective, not from teenage perspective. And because of this, those teenagers in that kind of productions really often act fake, and they're not convincing at all. They just don't behave like teenagers. Not even saying that usually adult people playing them, but yeah, I'm still really shocked, but in a good way. And also, again, I think that this production is really important, especially for teenagers, because they give us so many life lessons, especially good ones for teenagers. And they show that this very tough part of your life actually, because when you're graduating from high school and you're starting your adult life, this can be really tough, especially when people keep telling you that you should plan your whole life and you should know everything about life and just, I don't know, become a robot in society. I know that you can struggle a lot during that time, and I really like that on those characters they showed how people can struggle that time and how different reaction they could have. So yeah, again, this production is really good and I definitely highly recommend it. And yeah, that's all I wanna say about this drama. Now it's your turn. Please tell me in the comment section what do you think about this drama, who was your favorite character or characters, and you know, just share your thoughts. I'm really curious to find out what do you think, and thank you so much for spending your precious time with me today. Please remember to take care about yourself, smile a lot, and see you in the next video. Bye bye!